Party resets. Yes, good evening, Africa. Welcome to Hashtag. It's another Wednesday and it's upon us. And do we have a packed show tonight? But before we get into it, it's a big hashtag welcome to Zico.
Atta!
Yo, what's up? How are you?
I am great. 13 days to Christmas.
Yes,
Can you wait?
yes.
What are you doing for that?
Oh, I don't even know. My family need to literally get me in on what's going to be happening during the festive season. A lot of presents to be exchanged, so I can expect that.
Absolutely. So we want to hear from you what your plans are for the Christmas. Make sure that you use our social media platforms. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Kwese Sports. Follow us on @Kwese Sports on Twitter and, of course, on our Instagram.
Yes, follow us on Instagram as well. Coming up tonight, we have our favorite social butterfly, Felicia, with all the happenings on social media, Tiger Woods, MSL cricket, and get to hear about a fascinating campaign involving Biogen. But first, let me welcome to the Hashtag studio our guest tonight, Ben Karpinski.
Yay!
Welcome, Ben.
Hey guys,
How's
it going? Nice to be here. Very good, thank you.
So I just heard from our producers that you've been awake since 4 a.m.
Wow.
yesterday.
Yeah, I'm actually 22. I just look really
Oh,
old.
wow. Wow.
I work in morning radio, so
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 a.m. up and Adam on the sports. And yeah, this is very late for me, but I thought, go past your bedtime. Not every day you get to be with you guys.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Thank you for that.
Fair reason.
Oh, lovely. All right, so let's start off. Firstly, you're a huge sports fan. You're also a blogger. How did you follow follow the bounce come about?
I used to have quite a boring job, kind of boring, cushy job in marketing. And with that, I wanted to get into sports, and social media was just starting. It was 2010, the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
So it was a great opportunity to become a fan with a voice. It wasn't just a guy around a bar or at a bar anymore. It was a guy who was online, and people actually got to resonate what you're saying. And from there, I got into working into advertising, and I just was given all the sporting briefs.
Okay.
So I was writing all the sporting ads. I was getting involved with the TV campaigns. And from there, I realized, I should be a content person in sports.
Oh,
Somehow,
nice.
8 years on, it's gone somewhere, yeah.
Wow.
And you obviously have a massive love for golf. Do you have any other passions that you follow, like any other sports that you play?
I was fortunate enough to play all sports growing up.
He's
Golf.
one of those.
Yeah, well, I was the youngest of 4 kids, and my brothers basically bullied me quite a lot, so I had to become active and quite strong. So I played all different sports, but I was always quite keen on individual sports, so golf really was a big thing for me. And ever since then, it was just more and more, As you become an adult, you get different sort of elements of golf that you love, from the travel to the business, to just the general social stuff and the social drinking as well. So yeah, I would say golf would be my top game, but I have a fascination for all sports, really.
Did you make any business deals on the golf course?
I think golf courses help you boost your profile, so I don't know if there's actual handshakes that go on.
I've seen it happen on the golf course, especially with some key people. So, get us in on what really happens.
I thought maybe I'm not at the handshake level just yet. But yeah, it's a great thing to be able to be in that position, because once you play golf and you can play golf, then you kind of make yourself easier to get along with certain people, I guess.
All right, well, we have to talk about the Tiger Woods versus Phil Mickelson match. It's very fresh. What did you make of it?
Lovely concept, but it was so boring. 3 holes and I fell asleep. It was boring. It was all this hype, and then suddenly there were these 2 dads talking about the weather. It was great. It really was. It was innovative, and I'm for that.
But, I mean, do you think this type of match will ever happen again? Also, $9 million for the winner. That's insane.
Yeah, Arthur, it's a big question, because there's only 2 people that can be in the match. It's Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. And we've had it already. You try get any other up-and-coming star is going to have a bigger pool of those 2. Because Phil's he's a natural gambler. He's been around, the rivalry with Tiger, and then Tiger's the biggest thing in golf ever.
Wow.
So there will be, but it needs to change. The format needs to change. You can't just have 2 players.
But it just seems like that's what the PGA were doing for the sport of golf, just trying to add something a little bit different and unique, surely.
Yeah.
I think every sport has the unique challenge that they've got to make their sport more accessible and more interesting to younger viewers and younger people. Because just think, in my generation, okay, I'm not that old, I'm 37, but when I was growing up, you played sport.
Yeah.
There was no smartphones, there was no satellite TV. PlayStation 1 was like 99.
Yeah.
So now kids are getting all these different screens to look at. They're not gravitating
active.
towards the sports. So we've got to make it look as interesting and engaging as possible. And that's what the match was meant to be. Pay-per-view, TV kind of viewing where every element could draw you in.
So you did mention earlier on that it wasn't that exciting. What would you change about it, seeing as you love your golf and everything? What would you change about a match of that magnitude?
I think more players, first and foremost. When you've got two players, there's a lot of downtime between balls being hit.
Yeah.
You know, if you look how amazing the Ryder Cup was this year, or how amazing it is every single year, there's so much action, there's so much on every single shot. And just for two guys to on that, you know, you've got to rely on other things. They had that Charles Barkley, they had a few other people, they had Samuel L. Jackson there. So they had nice touches around the side. But when the commentators became the big thing, a little bit too much emphasis on them.
Wow. Would it be a big event if younger players were involved?
I don't think so. Again, it's like these younger guys have been around for a short space of time. Tiger's been amazing forever. If you really break it down, in 1997, he was 21 years old and he won the Masters. Since 1997, people have been going, if Tiger's not playing, I'm not watching golf, okay? And same with Phil. Phil was basically there from around 94, so he had about 2-3 years on him. The younger guys like Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, they're amazing. But are they big enough to pull the audience that they really want just to be viewing just them? Not yet.
Well, tell you what, I'd love to hear how your marketing skills are going to bring in the younger guys, or rather the audience for the younger players.
I've got hours. We don't have hours tonight. But
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so on to your new adventure with the agency Retroactive and the Biogen Journey campaign. Tell us all about that.
Very fortunate timing. My current business partner and I, Mike Sharman, we've been talking about doing sporting things since the 2011 World Cup, the Rugby World Cup. Now, he took me to New Zealand as an influencer with MasterCard, and our whole thing was to capture amazing moments in the Witness History campaign. So there I was, a sporting fan, and I was there on behalf of all the fans. I showed you what was going on. So we wanted to start something. Our third partner, Brian Abana, of course, the legend rugby player, he was finishing playing rugby. He wanted to get into something more structured off the field, and the three of us came together. We had a meeting at a restaurant in Cape Town Airport. We literally flew in for an interview with him or a chat with him, and all our ideas seem to be quite similar. So for me, I've been creating content by myself for 8 years now, you know, from radio to blogs to vlogs to writing, all those kind of things. I wanted to make it more structured. So with my advertising background, my love for marketing and love for just getting sport engagement out there, the agency idea was perfect for us.
Perfect, Z.
Great. Now, we're going to take a look at one of the clips that you use to introduce Hobos and his medical team. Very interesting. Can't wait to see what it is all about.
We recently introduced you to Hobo, a 32-year-old man in the worst shape of his life, but someone who is looking to turn it all around with his Biogen journey.
So in the last sort of 6 years, I've put on 30 kgs, probably in the worst shape of my life, and there's no time like the present really. I think the longer I wait, the harder it's going to be. So I need to do it as soon as, you know, and this is a perfect opportunity for me.
To achieve his goal of completing a half Ironman within 10 months, he has assembled a team of professionals to plot his course. Here are their initial thoughts.
So our two main concerns with Hobo at the moment are the fact that he's eating a diet rich in carbohydrates and a lot of refined carbohydrates, so bread, potatoes, pasta, that kind of thing. And then secondly, he's got a very minimal amount of micronutrients in his diet, so he's not eating a lot of vegetables, salad, that kind of thing. What this means is that he's going to be very malnourished, undernourished, and at the same time he's also going to be easily storing fat. Two things we don't want.
Okay, so my first take on Hobo is that he is heavily overweight. We put him on the in-body scale here, and it did reveal that he is half muscle and half fat. So we need to work with him on the cardio side as well as the injury prevention to help him uncover all that muscle and do the best he can.
I think the most important thing when you are starting out after years of not exercising and not looking after yourself is to make sure that you are medically cool to exercise. I mean, I think that is important. And then the step two is really just to take it as slowly as you can. The slower you progress, the better chance you've got of being successful, the lower your risk is of injury. And then surround yourself with people who want you to succeed, that are going to keep you on the journey.
Hobo's biggest challenge lies in running. So to get started, Coach Perry ensured he was fitted for the right shoes. Then, in keeping with the advice of starting slow and progressing from there, Hobo is now doing afternoon walks. He also went for initial blood tests to find out if there are any other areas of concern.
In terms of blood test results, two that worry me. My iron's very low, so I've been been given iron supplements, and then as well my blood sugar, so essentially the glucose thing. And what Ruth was saying is I may need to go for a glucose test, but she's hoping with the weight loss and with the exercise I might drop that.
Now he's all set and ready to go. Follow Hobbo's progress on Biogen's social media channels, and you too can win unique programs and other prizes when you share your Biogen journey.
Ben, that is so amazing. Like, really, I'm excited to see what's happening. But tell us, how has his progress been since the beginning of the campaign?
Well, it was the dream first client for us, firstly. You know, Biogen's genuinely interested in becoming an authentic wellness brand. So Hobbo was the test case of, I mean, Hobbo's a fall for many people in this country, many people in this continent. You know, you kind of get into your 30s, you're overweight, you're not exercising. And he's been so far quite willing. He started at 130 kilograms. When you saw him at the start of that video, 130 kilograms. Wow. He's now 116.
Wow.
He's already finished his first triathlon.
Wow.
He did a sprint triathlon 2 weeks ago.
So all those targets have already been reached.
Yeah, but there's a lot of pressure on him because I'm filming him. I'm kind of guiding him through this process.
He doesn't want to come out the loser, you know what I mean?
No, exactly. So now all his friends watch these videos, and there's people on social media reaching out to him and saying, you know, I'm also going through this. I'm also doing my first triathlon. Really feel inspired by your tips. And it's been an amazing experience for us because we really actually understand what people go through when it comes to health and fitness. So often we just see the chiseled abs and the amazing bikini bodies, but there are so many other different
So much goes
aspects.
behind the scenes, yeah.
But how do you get it going? And that's always fascinated me. Like, I've been quite fortunate. I was generally born quite slender. I can go run a 5K and no biggie.
Yeah.
But everyone's got a different build. Everyone's got a different way of going about fitness, and everyone's got a challenge and sticking to it. And that's what this whole challenge is about. That's the whole Biogen journey.
Well, I mean, is he on track for the first Ironman in 2019?
June, I think 3rd.
Okay.
He has to do 1.6 kilometers swim. It's a 90 kilometer cycle and a 21 kilometer run.
Shucks.
But now you can only get to the run if you are quick enough over to the first two disciplines. So it is daunting. It's a word I use, the word he hates to hear, but basically he has to hit his straps the whole way through.
Oh, wow.
And he's about to go on holiday for a month to New Zealand with his family. Ooh. So we're slightly nervous about this, but this is the great thing about this whole web series, is that everything is completely authentic. There's no scripts. It literally is him, his goal, and how we're going to get there together. And that's what I find so exciting.
Right now, so we're going to, basically, you are focused on another very exciting campaign, which is the Mzansi Super League. Now, what is so different, what's so outstanding about this tea tournament in comparison to the rest?
Well, you can see it in the tagline. You know, it's for all. We haven't had sport in this country that everybody can kind of be a part of. And, you know, obviously, broadcasting rights, you know, is it accessible? Is it engaging for all the fans out there? And I've always believed that cricket is the one sport in South Africa where everyone can get involved. You know, it's one of those games that everyone loves to play. You don't have to be the big, strong, burly guy to play rugby. You don't have to be super quick to play football as such. Cricket's got a different skill set. And when you go to matches, it's a lot more family orientated. You know, they've got the big, nice grass bank. The games are stretched out. And it's really cool, really kind of inclusive of everybody. So when the Mzansi Super League came by, my partner Mike and I, we thought we had to be a part of this because this is where we can really make a difference in sport. And I think people have been criticizing the low attendances live, but the TV viewership's been fantastic. It really has been. And we've got the most thrilling climax this weekend on Sunday. It's the final, the Cape Town Blitz. That they have got the home final. And, well, I'm going to be down there for Sunday, and I'm so excited about this.
Nice.
Great. Now, we're going to take a look at one of the clips that you've used to make sure that you get most of the public to come and check out the game. So check it out.
Cool.
Do you want to win the ultimate fan experience with the Mzansi Super League? Get photographed by the Mzansi Super League Angels at selected matches, and you and a friend could experience the Mzansi Super League final as an ultimate VIP on December the 16th. The Mzansi Super League. Fast, fun for all.
Yeah, there it is. Fast, fun for all.
Wow. pretty much like nothing explains it better than that.
And that's what it should be, really. We're not looking to do anything complicated here, nothing complex. It's sport. You can be a part of it, and it's going to be entertaining, and it's going to be lots of fun. That what you just saw there, we turned that around quite quickly because there wasn't a huge amount of lead time for, and Cricket South Africa have done wonders in getting this league going. You know, there's some issues in previous years about how do we get this global league to go, because Australia's got the Big Bash, India's got the IPL, obviously, Pakistan's got a league, the UAE's got a league, England's got their league, the Caribbean, you know. So it's one of those things, and it's very difficult for them to get something that's going to stand in the global fixture lists. And I think first year, again, like it's a first year. It's like something that we can really get behind. And so far, so good. Like, I think that that video really encapsulates what it's about. It's about getting kids, the first-time kids. You know, you saw the girl with the face paint there.
Yeah.
It's the genuine excitement that comes with sport, and that's why I love working in it.
I think, Ben, the greatest challenge has always been, you know, to get to the numbers into the stadiums. How's that been going, and how did you guys overcome those challenges as getting this campaign up and running?
It's a very good question, and I think there's a great sort of case study. If you look at somewhere like the Wanderers, it's a big, huge international cricket ground in a big city centre. The numbers haven't been great when you look at the potential and capacity. Look at a stadium like Paarl. The viewership, the attendance there has been fantastic. The communities are coming out, and we're starting to see where this league is going purely on the back of what's happening with the Paarl Rocks team. You know, with us, we just thought that we've got to make people who are there feel very special. So, I mean, our very simple fan engagement concept was to get people to just get photographed with our angels. You know, this Sunday, there's 2 people are going to the final who entered. If you had a picture taken with the angels in our photo block, you get to win the ultimate fan experience.
Nice.
So today we actually drew a winner. We had a nice conversation on the phone. And it's just reminding us, like, this is what sport is meant to be doing for people. It gets them so excited that you want to keep going back. Sure, TV's fantastic. It's nice to be in your lounge. But to go there, there is nothing better than live. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Great. Now, how was it important for Cricket South Africa to get a tournament up and running after last year's disaster?
Yeah, it's one of those things you can't avoid the topic. It was, you know, international owners had teams, and it was going to be big, and there's lots of money involved, and unfortunately, that did fall to pieces. Yeah. You look at South Africa as a cricketing nation, a proud nation with huge heritage, huge history, and huge success, and big players. You look at the Mzansi Super League now, these SA marquee players, these are big global players. So I think Cricket South Africa took a lot of risk. They really did. They really put themselves out there to get this on the go, right, as you see it now. You know, you won't see the big title sponsors just yet. You know, there's some skepticism around it. But they weren't going to wait around. They thought, well, let's get it out. And I guess they got to be commended for that.
Good gracious, Ben, it's so much of a pleasure to have you here with us and hearing all these cool things that you're doing. And of course, you're going to be with us up until the end of show. Yep. But for right now, it is time for Felicia Endersby and her take on what is happening in the world of social media. So to come, more on Tiger Woods and CAF making headlines.
The well-dressed and the well-mannered. Playboy model Doreen Seidel is chasing her dreams in Formula One's new Women's Championship Series. It gets underway in May 2019 with free entry for the selected races and a £1.14 million prize fund on offer. £380,000 for the winner. It promises to be an exciting spectacle, albeit surrounded by sexist controversy. Jessie Lingard rounded off the perfect weekend on Sunday by launching a new clothing line from his fashion label J Lings, which he launched 5 months ago following England's win over Colombia at the World Cup. Lingard and Rashford signed merchandise for those who queued up to get their hands on the latest range. And ever the well-mannered man, Thierry Henry makes Benoit Badiashile tuck in his chair. What do you guys think of this? Is it a necessary aspect of being a coach? Hit us up on any of our social media platforms and have your say. We'd love to hear your views. See you same time, same place. Bye-bye.
the ball, go right here. You're going to go bring it in, release it right there behind the back, right here. You're going to go right here. Then this is the easy part. 1, 2, you're going to fake the pass and make the pass. Go! All right, now. We got a spot for you. All right, all right.
Great.
Wow. I tell you what, those ball skills are mad. Do you have any, Ben?
Not like that.
Eh?
Not even close.
Can't even maneuver any one of them.
I can't even balance on the finger to start with.
Wow. Wow, thanks for staying with us on a hashtag. Remember that you can get in touch with us on all our social media platforms. So much happening in the world of football, Z.
Arthur, you do not want to know what's happening, but CAF has decided to strip Ivory Coast from hosting the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in favor of Cameroon, the original country hosting for 2019. Now, home of the Indomitable Lions was originally set to host the tournament. However, the decision was made by the governing body to cancel those preparations due to lack of infrastructure and security issues mounting in the country. Ivory Coast was then awarded the right to host the tournament, but has been seemingly stripped of that right too because they were not ready to host. Now, the problem, however, is that Ivory Coast claims they weren't informed of the decisions by CAF. CAF President Ahmed says that CAF offered Ivory Coast the 2022 hosting role, but still hasn't received a response. Like, what in the world of CAF is happening? So much confusion or much more confusion? What's happening?
Don't you find it strange how all these big events, every host country has always been doubted?
Yes.
I mean, we saw it here in 2010 in South Africa.
Yes.
We won't be ready. We've got to have a backup plan. We saw it in Russia. We're definitely going to see it in Qatar as well.
Yeah.
With this, I mean, obviously there's got to be a basic requirement here.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's difficult because obviously there's huge speculation around this. Like, would someone else make more money if it goes to another country?
Yeah.
And you don't want to be cynical, but I mean, I guess CAF has one of those like requirements in place. Like something has to be done in a certain amount of time.
Yes, they do. They definitely have an executive committee that they've got to put together that kind of goes into having a look at how the hosting, what the requirements for the hosting nation would be, and a certain process that they need to pass.
And time as well, right?
But yes, but I think the biggest issue has been CAF as a whole. For many years now, the African Football Federation have failed to really bring African football to the level that it needs to be with regards to its administration.
Yeah.
So it's something that is consistent, and for the next few years, we'll just have to see Ahmed change that around before we can actually see this, become the kind of sports that can be respected globally.
You see, my issue with this is the fact that, they stripped Cameroon off because they say that they had lack of infrastructure and all the security issues that are happening and so forth. And then you give it to Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
I don't really know what reasons they put in place to say that they were not ready. Is it because they were not really prepared and so forth? But is it fair enough to take it from one country and give it back to the country originally that was not ready? Are they ready now?
It's a very good question, but I think also in these economic times, like what goes into hosting a tournament, like is it practical these countries have to build so much? Is it maybe about scaling it back? Is it about having the format a little bit different? Because so much money goes into this.
Yeah.
Like 2010, okay, South Africa there, we've got everything here and ready, but it can't always be a host country as like a fail-safe. There's got to be measures in place that make sure these countries can meet these deadlines. Simple.
Oh, I can't believe it. We've already run out of time, Z. Like, we're having so much fun talking about
We've got so many things to say.
Right? That's where we end our conversation on CAF, and can't wait for the AFCON 2019. Catch that action on Kwese Free Sports next year. So much coming up in 2019. Ben, what can we look forward to?
Cricket World Cup, Rugby World Cup. These are the two big things in like more traditional South African sports. But again, like, is Man City going to hold on? Liverpool, English Premier League. The great thing about sport is that there's always just so much of it.
Yeah.
It's never ending. Next year I'm excited about Formula E. I'm excited about esports. Like these things are growing so quickly.
Yeah.
They really are.
All right, well, Africa, we're going to talk Tiger Woods next week. But before we say goodbye, where can people get in touch with you on social media?
Probably best on the Twitter @followthebounce, also @followthebounce on my YouTube channel. Otherwise, Instagram, just The Bounce.
All right, Z, we've got to say goodbye.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
But not too long. long, but
Yeah.
anyway, we've got something to look forward to. Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas
Yes.
is around the corner. Can't wait. Well, Africa, there you have it. Another show done and dusted from our hashtag couch. I tell you what, till we see you again next week, let the Questified fire remain with you. À toute l'Afrique qui nous suit. À la prochaine.
It's simply